Welcome back to Daily Carnivore. In this video, I'm sharing another full day of eating, and we're getting right to it with my Bulletproof coffee that I have pretty much every morning. Tablespoon of butter, a couple tablespoons of heavy cream, a few drops of liquid stevia, and I blend it with my immersion blender. This keeps me going for the first couple of hours, and I'll eat breakfast maybe 10, 10:30, 11, just depending. For breakfast, I'm making a scramble with an ingredient that is not local to my area, but if you're on the East Coast, you're probably familiar with this. My cousin from New Jersey sent this out to me in Washington. It's pork roll, and to me, it really just tastes like ham. But you can tell there's a lot more fat content with this. And I am making breakfast for my husband and myself, so I'm doubling the batch here. So if I was just making this for me, I would use just one of those slices. So I'm getting some butter melting in the pan so that I can crisp up that pork roll. And then we'll get the eggs scrambling as that butter melts. You can see I've got 6 eggs there, 3 for each of us. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of cheese. I mean, that's maybe a 1/4 cup. And then we're gonna be splitting that between the two of us. So really negligible cheese, but you could obviously leave that out if you don't do dairy. So my butter's looking good. I'm gonna get the pork roll in the pan to start crisping up. And instead of cheddar cheese, this would be really good with Swiss cheese or mozzarella cheese, like a ham and Swiss scramble would be really good. So while that's crisping up, I am going to make my electrolyte mix. I'm not going to show making that because I've done that in previous videos, but just know that I always have that with breakfast as well. And I think the pork roll is looking nice and crispy. So we're going to go ahead and get the scrambled eggs in here in a minute and then get everything stirred around and get all of the butter and the fat incorporated in and get that cheese starting to melt. So our eggs are done, and I'm gonna try to divide this evenly onto 2 plates. It's gonna be really messy. So I'm gonna leave it just like this because it already has the meat and the cheese in there, but my husband wanted some hollandaise, so we have a little bit left over from the other day, and I shared that in a previous video. So I'm gonna put some hollandaise sauce on his eggs, and then breakfast is done. And we will both have a vitamin D as well to round it out. So for lunch, I'm gonna make some chicken salad. This is canned chicken from Costco. This is one of the staples that we get at Costco. This would be something to make ahead and use as meal prep for the week as well. And these pickles are the star of the show. I love these. If you can find these at your grocery store, get them. I can find them at Winco. They're spicy and so delicious and just add a good crunch to the chicken salad. This definitely is not gonna be making it carnivore. But if you're going to lean keto, you could put some of these in there, put some avocado maybe, some celery, some onion. And I don't really have a recipe or measurements, but a couple tablespoons of mayo, some squirts of mustard. I go a little easy on the salt because I find the canned chicken seems to be a little salty, so I don't put very much in, but then add pepper and onion powder and garlic powder to taste. Give it all a good mix, and then that's good to go as is, or you can throw it in the fridge and cool it down just a touch. So for dinner, we're gonna be having taco bowls, and I generally make my own mix. I just have all of these ingredients on hand rather than getting a packet from the store with some other questionable items in there, but do what works for you, whatever's easier for you. And so I've got 73% ground beef, so this is gonna be fairly fatty, and I'm gonna go ahead and take out maybe 5 or 6 tablespoons of that grease. I don't want all of that in my meat mixture, but I'm definitely gonna save it, and you can use this to cook with later instead of butter or instead of bacon grease, so definitely don't throw that out. So you can see how much fat that I did leave in here that's gonna help kind of bind with the seasonings as I add those. And if you get those packets from the store, they do tell you to add water. So having a little fat in there is gonna replace that water and help those seasonings bind to the meat and just get everything nice and combined. So to plate this up, I like to add pork rinds. I like the queso flavoring, and my husband likes sea salt. You could omit these, but I like the extra crunch. And then this is gonna look a little deceiving in this bowl. I put about half of that ground beef mixture in there. So this is a lot of protein. And I'm putting, again, you can see here, maybe about a 1/4 cup, maybe a little bit less than that of cheese, and then a tablespoon each or so of the sour cream and the salsa. Omit the salsa if you want this to be strict carnivore. If you want to lean a little keto, maybe add some lettuce or some olives. Regardless, this is a quick and easy and delicious dinner. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.